I'm Marin, and this is Post-its and Pens. Hello and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin, and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. In today's video, I am going to do the 25 bookish facts about me tag. I've seen this kind of floating around the internet. I will link some places that I saw it down below. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so I'm going to kind of do these rapid fire, if you will, so let's just go ahead and get rolling. So, fact number 1, I used to be a book blogger back in about 2010, 2011. I did a lot of it while I was in grad school, and you can still find my blog. I'll link it down below. It's not been updated in years because I don't do that anymore, but just in case you would like to check it out, I'll link it down below. Fact number 2 is that I do not like book subscription boxes. I feel like all of the extra little things you get with the box are just random junk that you then don't know what to do with. So, not a fan of book subscription boxes, have not subscribed to any of them for absolute years. Fact number 3 is that my favorite series growing up was Nancy Drew. I did a whole read of every single Nancy Drew book I could find. My friends and I used to read them together, and she will always have a special place in my heart because of that. Fact number 4 is that I found smutty romance novels in middle school and pretty much fell in love with them. And I'm talking about like the Little Silhouette Intimate Moments books. That was my go-to in middle school. Loved those. Fact number 5 is that I actually have my master's degree in library science, and I did a focus on young adult literature and children's literature. Fact number 6, I dog-ear the pages of mass market paperbacks, but I use bookmarks in every other kind of book. I don't know what it is, I just kind of feel like mass markets are a little bit more able to be beaten up, and I don't get upset about it, so I just dog-ear those pages. Fact number 7 is that I love the enemies to lovers trope. I love the tension, the inevitable getting to know each other and realizing that they're not actually that bad. I love that trope. That is probably my favorite thing to read. Okay, fact number 8 is that I still have ARCs and e-ARCs from over 10 years ago that I never read. Don't be like me. Read your ARCs on time. Fact number 9 is that I love audiobooks. I did not used to. I didn't get it. And then I finally started listening to them, and it is amazing how much more reading you can get done when you listen to audiobooks. Fact number 10 is that I love to use the library, but I rarely actually go in and browse the shelves. I usually just use the online system to request books that I'm interested in. Fact number 11 is that I used to be a massive book buyer. I would just buy books willy-nilly, never read them, they'd sit around, but now I barely buy books at all, and I am much happier as a result. Fact number 12, I used to be a part of the Harry Potter fandom. I read the Harry Potter books when I was in college, my freshman, sophomore year of college, after a friend recommended them to me. And I met a lot of really cool and amazing people through the Harry Potter fandom, and it will always kind of hold a special place in my heart because of that, regardless of all of the nonsense JKR keeps saying and doing and spilling out into the world. Fact number 13, I am not actually a fan of adult fantasy. It just doesn't work for me. Fact number 14 is a follow-up to that. I actually prefer young adult books. I do occasionally branch out into other genres. I do enjoy other genres, but young adult is kind of always going to be my default. Fact number 15, I usually have 2 books going at one time, so I will usually have an audiobook going and a regular actual physical book, whether it's an ebook or a hardcover paperback book. Fact 16 is that I find having a set TBR much better for me personally. I need to have a set list of things that I need to read. I like to check things off. I'm a list maker, and it just works better. If I just sit there and mood read, I usually wind up not reading hardly anything. Fact number 17 is that I have a soft spot for historical romance. So one of the first authors that I really fell in love with was Catherine Coulter. She wrote a lot of historical romance novels, and I found them and just loved them. Fact number 18 is that I love reading sprints. I know they're not for everyone, but for me, it helps keep me motivated, and I like watching the timer tick down. Number 19 has to do with my job, which is a teacher, and that is that I love reading books aloud to my students. There's just something about telling them a story and getting them engrossed in the pages of the book and the illustrations that makes my heart really, really happy. Fact number 20, I do not write in my books. There are a handful of books that I can count on one hand that I've written in, and honestly, it just doesn't do it for me. I don't understand the urge. It's not something that works for me. I would much rather keep my books looking nice and neat and pristine, you might say. Number 21 is probably an unpopular opinion, but I actually really love the narrator for the Raven Boys and the Dreamer Trilogy books. I know that that is polarizing. A lot of people hate his narration, but I love it, and that series is actually what got me into listening to audiobooks full time. Fact 22 is that I do not need it to be quiet in order to read. I can have the TV going, I can have music playing, and I can still tune it out and read my book. In fact, I prefer having some kind of white noise in the background rather than sitting in silence. Fact 23 is that when I am traveling, so when we don't have a pandemic, and I need to fly, especially flying, I will always bring my Kindle rather than actual books. I find the Kindle much more easy to transport and much easier to put in a bag and carry around with me. So I am a girl who loves reading ebooks, although I also like reading regular books. Fact 24 goes back, way back to when I was 4 years old, which is when I actually learned how to read. And the very first book I ever read on my own was Go Dog Go by P.D. Eastman. And fact 25, which is probably also an unpopular opinion, is that I do not have such a thing as an auto-buy author. There is no author that I'm going to rush out and immediately buy their books. I do have some favorites, but it's still not enough for me to just go out and purchase the books, bring them into my life. I want to be sure that it is actually something that I am going to really, really enjoy and really, really want to read. So I do not auto-buy anything. Okay, and those were just 25 bookish facts about me, so hopefully you got to know me a little bit better. Let me know down in the comments if you share any of these little quirks or facts, and feel free to link me to a video if you've also done this tag, because I would love to check it out. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.